Well, this is Defacto Review with me, Jargal Sachen. I'm broadcasting it from Ulaanbaatar, Mongolia. Today, March 13th, 2022. Today's topics are three: sanctions impact on Mongolian economy, inflation and exchange rates update, and tax increase. Why? And very short information on PCR requirements in Mongolia. Let's start with sanctions impact on Mongolian economy. Mongolian trade with Russia. Russia is 13% of our foreign trade turnover. In 2020, it was 1.8 billion US dollar. We had always trade deficit with Russia. Why? If you take the structure of our trade, 26% of our import is Russia, but only 0.8% of our export. But this quarter of our all export earning goes to Russia for almost one product. This is fuel, gasoline, diesel, etc. And Mongolians completely will stop if there is no fuel supply to the country from Russia. So we 100% dependent on Russian fuel. We export a small amount of meat, cashmere and wool and products. That's all our trade. About the fuel, Rosneft is the only supplier today of fuel to Mongolia. Rosneft has own company in Mongolia. We pay to that company account in Mongolian banks. The price is international. The price is international based on Platts Singapore price, and we pay the average of last month fluctuation of the prices before a month supply. So in April, soon there will be agreement, signing contract again on the price a month before. So in April, there is a certain expectations, of course, the price increase. That's why supply volume is very important, more important than the price. The government says, the Minister of Finance says that Mongolia has from 36 to 70 days reserve of food products. But Mongolia has not strategic reserve like many other countries do, which makes them resilient to the supply chain. But this sum is the total reserve of all commercial companies who supplies fuel to Mongolia. China, we buy fuel sometimes from China, but not now because China has also stopped the sale of fuel abroad. Price, as I said, international, will be international, and we will certainly see the increase like international market that we see today. So in April, about maybe 18% price increase may come. In that case, it will trigger more inflation in the country. I also should say that our air kerosene, TC jet, how call it, now is 100% provided by joint venture of Mongolian state-owned company with Rosneft. Hopefully there will be less problem with this air kerosene supply to Mongolia. However, the price as of last month have increased, as of today for last month, increased 10% already according to the information in newspaper. Inflation and exchange rate update. By March, according to Mongolian Statistics Office, the inflation rate is 16.4% in Mongolia, year-on-year basis. That inflation rate includes meat increase 24%, and fuel 15%, and transport transport cost, 21%. Mongolian inflation is calculated by basket of consuming goods. That is 373 products included in this basket, out of which 200 are imported goods. So you see how much we're dependent on import. So inflation is almost regarded done by half of inflation increase is because import price increase. Today, $1 as we speak of, 2,883 tugriks to buy and 2,892 to sell. Spread is only 10 MNT, Mongolian tugrik. Because the smaller spread, you would think there will be a lot US dollars available on the market, which is not the case because the major exchange offices are expecting further devaluation of tugriks, and they keep dollar and not selling much. So that's why it is not that much easily available. On March 9, the rate came to $1 to 2,900 tugriks, which was the maximum. But nowadays it goes a little bit down. And according to the Mongol bank governor, we have 30, 50. Commercial banks of Mongolia have already limited one-day transactions of US dollar. It is to be equivalent of from 30 to 50 million MNT equivalent will be allowed to have transactions or transfer abroad in particular. Many Russians came, according to also border information, for last 2 weeks to Mongolia. They were 1/3 of all visitors to the country. And also speculation says that they came to buy US dollars. There are different amounts, newspapers speculating, but one thing is sure that certainly they have been buying and the US dollars with rubles. Well, Mongol Bank says that its reserve is today to 3.9 billion USD. According to the Mongol Bank governor, it is 7 months our import equivalent. But however, this reserve was 4.9 billion or $1 billion more a year before, year-on-year basis. So it says that it means that our reserves keep going down. Well, but good news is major commodities of Mongolia we earn with US dollar. Coal prices coming over $400 per tons. Gold over $2,000. Copper over $10,000. It's a record level, but recently Goldman Sachs was saying that the dollar may reach $15,000, which is a good cushion for Mongolia to keep our hope that we will keep our exchange rate more stable. Okay, third topic about tax increase. They have not yet increased tax, but the speaker, Zandang Shatar, was giving an interview that the parliament will discuss new law to increase tax on personal income. You know, all major taxes in Mongolia is 10% flat. But this time, the speaker is suggesting that there will be 15% for individuals who earns from 2.5 to 5 million MNT income per month. The same way social insurance will go, which actually already goes that way. From the beginning of this year, Mongolian employers paying 1.5% more, and employee pays 1% social insurance, which will be increased in this way during 6 years. And according to Zandang Shatar, that this will reduce the loss of related funds, support the poor and the elderly and people with disabilities. Inflation is rising, prices are hiking. People are against this draft. According to several interviews, many people are demanding for high taxes, good public services. Now it is becoming very expensive to run business in Mongolia. During the pandemic, Mongolian GDP went down in the year 2020 for the first time since 1990, minus 5.3%. And 80% of businesses hit hard. We pay almost 40% taxes from our income, including VAT 10%. But what we got back? No sufficient public services, no access to quality education and comprehensive health care for everybody. So that's what the people reaction on that. Thunder Shatara, in spite of all this, also suggesting that we should have more deposit interest income, which is currently 10% from your deposit in your saving account, from your saving account 10%, but it should be 30 or more, according to him. And luxury cars over 200 million tugriks to be also taxed. And because the car pays only, for car you pay on the 10% trade and on the 5% customs tax. And according to this politician, who is the Speaker of the Parliament, things not good look for people who earns honestly their income. Okay, that's all major topics today, but I would like to give you information about PCR requirements when you come to Mongolia. 2 weeks ago, Mongolia had announced that it is now free for travelers. Inside free, going out also free. There's no any more requirements. But from tomorrow, March 13th, 14th, there will be no requirement for PCR test because it was before required. The PCR test, not anymore Mongolia is requiring. It will be from tomorrow. And you just fill out your medical declaration form on arrival, no testing required. No quarantine or self-isolation. When in Mongolia, traveling within the country and in between provinces also free. Free vaccination, very important, free vaccination and treatments available for all. So people may come from those countries which cannot have vaccines, they can come to Mongolia and have a free vaccines. That's all for this week. Then thank you very much for being with me. And if you like this my review, please put your likes and support me. Thank you. See you next week at this time.